Good morning. How is everybody? This is Jen with Lady Tarot 911. I have a morning message for you. So it's a little overcast here, obviously, but it still feels pretty good. It's still getting warm, but not as sunny and beautiful. The weather affects me a lot, so a little more quiet, a little more to myself in weather like this. And then when it's sunnier, I'm obviously got more getty up to go. But for those of you just joining again, I've been gone for a while. I'm back. I transitioned to a new home and I'm here. This is my pretty backdrop I'm grateful for. Miss Nala is here with me, of course, and moved my kids into another home and all is good. So I'm back to the grind and also to my channel, which I'm really happy that I can bring you this pretty scenery as well. But today, okay, so not sure what I'm going to title this yet. I mean, obviously you know because you've seen it, but I won't know until after I'm done with the video. But this is going to be the message that you guys need this morning. So, ex-partner, there's some an unfinished love connection. This situation may involve an ex. I feel like somebody is stuck. I feel like with these four little dealies here, I don't know what they are, but it almost looks like they're pushing against this cage type of, I think of UFC. Isn't that funny? I just went to a UFC, watched a UFC fight, and who asked me, maybe it was Charlie, my daughter had asked me what why they use a cage for it. And so anyways, it's in an enclosure. This reminds me of an enclosure and being held captive, being kept and kept inside. And I think that somebody feels trapped. Tell me more about this ex-partner. Oh yeah. So okay, going along with that, isolation. So somebody feels isolated away, or maybe somebody is needing to take that time, um, alone, gain independence, just to try and figure out maybe how to become unstuck from a situation, isolating away to just get your head straight. Give me one more. I feel like there's just been so much chaos potentially around you or around the situation. Too many people, too many thoughts, too many voices, too much noise, too much of everything running through your head, running through your environment, that it is almost impossible. I mean, if you look at this card, it's almost impossible to find your way in that maze because there's too many people, there's too many thoughts, trying to make too many people happy, trying to survive yourself, but still, you know, I'm hearing, make things look as if you're not being affected. And there's a time that you just have to stop. That somebody, you or your person, they just have to stop, and they have to isolate, and they have to quiet their mind and the noise. Okay, fine. You're not going to give me one? Oh, look at that. So, love. So this could be a love situation. This could be an ex relationship, ex commitment. It can be regarding family, um, with love here, or a romantic partner. This can also be within yourself as well. Um, but let's get some more on why you're feeling stuck, and maybe what can be done about it. All right, so for the collective, what can you tell the collective? What message do you want me to give the collective about um, ex-partner, isolation in love, or feeling stuck, feeling trapped, or needing to isolate? What messages do you have for the collective this morning that you want me to give to them? The energy. Needing to get clarity. So somebody here is confused, not not sure which direction to go. There are multiple things or people or situations or factors playing in on this situation that has been very confusing, like this isolation card, this needing to get clarity, wanting to understand which direction. As you can see, the Knight of Wands is, he's heading one direction, but he's pulling back on the horse in another direction. So I think I think that there's just been a huge amount of pain and sadness and confusion, and trying to sort it all out for a moment of understanding. What else can you tell me about this? And this could be for you. This could be somebody around you who's, I'm hearing suffering and silence, essentially. Yeah, trying to make a decision. Do I take action? Do I just sit in this pain? Do I continue to try and find the clarity? Um, I want to take some type of action because I want my stability and I want my safety and security. I'm trying so hard to get my feet underneath me, is what I feel. Um, and I want to cut out the problem that's challenging me, but I'm so stuck on, if I make the wrong decision, what's going to happen. I will say that I don't personally believe there's ever a wrong decision. I think that you always can turn around and go a different direction if the direction you chose was not something that, that seemed to be in your best interest, but also in the direction that you went, it still wasn't a bad choice because you learned something and that helped you grow. So no matter what decision that you make, it teaches you something, and that's what life is about. So you were meant to make that decision. So, and again, I've said before, I don't feel that there should be regret. I think that we should learn our lessons from things that teach us what we need to learn. But as far as regret, that's why we have our agency, is so that we can, if something happens that we feel potentially we would want to redo or take back, or do over, um, instead of sitting in regret, understanding that things happen for a reason. And if you feel compelled to revisit a situation because have more history or knowledge in your corner, then it might not be the incorrect decision at that time. It could have just been a timing issue. Um, but regretting is just it's a waste of a word, honestly, because you should never regret lessons that help you grow and help you, move forward and not make those mistakes again. Um, in certain situations, some situations are just timing, and just bad timing just wasn't aligned correctly. So let's see, what else do you want me to tell the collective about the situation? I think that somebody here is, sorry, I forget to show you guys the cards. I told you I get really involved. So Four of Swords, Knight of Cups, and Two of Pentacles. So I think that somebody has done a lot of juggling between money and emotion and love, trying to find that good balance, giving potentially too much of themselves in one direction or the other, um, going all pentacles, all money, never, never makes you happy, even though some would fight with me on that. Um, I had a gal once tell me that she just did this side thing. Um, she cleaned houses for, I guess, some of her friends, and she said that she had a couple friends who were just, stupid saying, but middle class, average income, blah blah blah. And then she had some that were a couple that were had a lot of money. I think she said that two of them were millionaires, and she said after talking with these friends, over a time period, um, she goes, "Which ones, Jen, do you think were happier?" And it were the ones who were still making money, but um, that had a balance with love and time, and versus the ones that had a lot of money but no time, no energy, to enjoy I guess, the fruits of their labor. And I've experienced that somewhat in my life. I had toys, but no time, because we were working so hard to pay for them, that there was no enjoyment that came from them, or once in a while, but not enough to justify, the the um, the lack of enjoyment. I guess you could say, having them sit around while I'm paying on them, not even being able to use them. Oh, okay, so card fell on the ground. Hold on. So, oh, lovers making a choice. There's a lot of getting clarity, decision card, the clarity card. This is in your head, trying to contemplate, choice card, um, cutting things out. Somebody here is very in their head about what to do. And I think it's because I'm getting the feeling that it's because they are more concerned about finding the right answer than actually sitting back and allowing it to come to them. And the way you do that is to listen to your intuition. But a lot of people don't want to listen to what they're hearing, what they're being told, because they've had this plan, they've had this way that they were going to do things, this idea, dream of how it was going to play out. And when it doesn't, they you know um, resist even harder any changes that are trying to come in. um, so you've got the Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. So there could be messages that are coming to you questions, or somebody who wants to kind of fill things out, find out what's happening with you, in regards to, what you're doing or where you're going or what choices, you know, as far as, maybe coming back together, reconciling, or, finding closure in a situation. Um, I think that this is a big decision, because it really affects the direction that somebody thought that they were going to be going, and the way that they thought it was all going to play out. And they had this vision and this dream, and it just, in reality, it's not like that. In reality, it's way different. And the reason it's way different is not because your dream or your vision was wrong. It's because energy changes constantly. People change constantly. So what tends to happen is you take an old narrative, you try and put a new dream to that old narrative, and you end up with disappointment. You end up with not the same situation. Now, if it would have been, and a lot of this obviously is past, ex-partner, past, if it would have been back in the day that originally maybe something took place, right? Something you're trying to decide upon, if it would have played out the way that you dreamed it to be, then most likely you'd still be in that situation, or in that relationship, or in that, with that business partner, or on a different level with family. But the fact is that it wasn't supposed to be that way, so that's why it's not that way. um, so you have to tweak, these dreams a little bit. A lot of cards, but okay. So I was just going to clarify, so what are some of these issues that um so there's ride, new car. um Potentially this has to do with, maybe there's issues with assets, vehicles, or this could be just whether somebody needs to, wants to take action by driving somewhere, traveling, going somewhere, moving, changing locations, just there being movement in some regard. Meddler, so somebody's coming in between, you and this decision, this, or maybe making a choice to move past somebody who's, when I see meddler, it says bad advice, steering you in the wrong direction, giving advice for what's best for them, interfering, nosy, and two-faced. This is completely low vibration. This is somebody who has nothing better to do than try and control their environment and control everybody around them to be their puppet. And that's a puppeteer to me. And that only gets you so far, and that only can last for so long, because humans are humans, and they do need to live life as they, as they hoped life would play out, or as they want their life, what they see, what they envision, their perspective. So death, this could be making this choice to move away from somebody and in something. Um, this could involve a decision regarding, somebody who is sick, and kind of which direction to go. Let's see, sleep. So paying attention to your dreams, and then friends. So I think what this is saying is these are all potential aspects of this decision. So I think that maybe there's something having to do with some type of transportation, or traveling, or making a move, and whether to end something, what to do about somebody who's involved, and that can get tricky with family. But then also, not taking care of yourself, tr- staying up insomnia, trying to stay up and figure things out, it's going to make it a million times worse, right? And then friends who might be getting involved, giving advice. It's that what I talked about in the isolation card, where so many people get involved with other people's lives and give them their ideas and their perspectives of what should be done, what action they should take, what they should say. However, they're coming from a totally different perspective. Their their maze that they go through can be totally different. Or actually, let's switch this around because this is ex-partner. So their maze that they're going through, that looks a hell of a lot easier to go through than that. And so they're telling you how to navigate this maze. When you're in this maze, you have different um, challenges, different ways of thinking, different ways of looking at life, different dreams. And so you have somebody who's trying to tell you what way to go, and with a meddler, this is somebody who purposely is doing this to get what they um, want from you, not just express what they are hoping for can work, compromise. No, this is somebody who's telling you what you should do, and if you don't do it, then somehow, some way, you're going to be in some type of jeopardy in a relationship with them, or a relationship with your family, or something to that effect. That to me is not love. That to me is not caring about you. That is selfish, narcissistic tendency. Um, and I mean, diagnostically being or being diagnosed, I should say, with narcissism is different than just having those behaviors of, you know, that narcissistic tendency of complete selfishness, and just needing to do what they want to do, and you follow, fall in line or else, right? So what should the collective do if they feel um, stuck in a situation? What's the advice to do when it's stuck in a situation? So 7 of Pentacles is about where you put your investments, and 9 of Swords is holding defense. These are both about defending your position, standing up for yourself, defending. Oh, you can't see those. I'll put those over there. I mean, you saw both of them, right? Hold on. There's 9 of Swords. So, and then the 7 of Pentacles. This is about where you put your investment, where you plant your seeds. Where do you feel like you are going to be able to grow and become, the best person you can? If you're in a family dynamic and you're being held back and you're being controlled and you're in your head because of a bad situation, or, you've been put in potential dynamics where, you know, friends friends or family maybe are becoming a problem, and it's causing you to not take care of yourself, and you're becoming sleep deprived. Is this an environment that you think that you're going to be able to grow in or become the best, you know, family member or partner or mother or father? Especially in situations like that, is your child watching you go through this? Is your child seeing the discord between you and, the other person? And so what does that do for them? Staying in something that is toxic or that causes this and challenges in your head, is that better for, your family members to be around that, or your child to be around that? Or is that better for you to be in the situation, just to stay in that situation? We've been talking a lot about doing what people do just because that's the way that it's always done. That's tradition. that is how it should be. That's the way that it always should be. However, is it? Is that the way that it should be done? Is that something that's healthy for you and your family, or your person is um, for your person to be in those type of situations? Regardless, whoever you want to attribute this energy to, the the advice is to defend yourself, stand up for yourself. So this is obviously a low vibration, toxic situation that needs adjusting. And the only way that it's going to be adjusted is if you do stand up for yourself, and don't just outright trust people who say, oh, trust me. Well, look at their history. Look at somebody for who they truly are. If they have had a history of um you know stealing, or of stealing your joy, or of you know cutting you down, or disregarding you, or throwing you away, or um you know and there's been nothing that you see beyond that, that shows you, that proves that there is great change in them, to learn lessons and feel apologetic for the way that they've treated you or others. um, can you really trust those people? Can't, even though they say, oh, trust me, or you've known me for a long time. For family, okay, so you've been with your family for a long time, but so you just outright trust that they're never gonna change their perspective of the way that they are with you? Or humans are humans, and that's the way that we're wired, is we change and we grow and we get new perspectives. And family is family, and we talk about family is you know this righteous honoring your family, which is good as long as they are still honoring you, as long as they are still wanting the best for you, not if they are wanting the best for them through you. That's just my, there you go. That's just my rant. Sorry. Give me one more on what the collective should do, along with this Nine of Swords and Seven of Pentacles. So stand up for yourself. Um, there should be love shown, either this direction, the way, protecting yourself, or, and you don't have to protect yourself and go after somebody. You don't have to be this way. You don't have to cut them to pieces to protect yourself. Being in charge of yourself and protecting your energy is simply moving away from the situation. Um, and if anything, I'm hearing with this ride and death, okay, and sleep. Okay, so these right here, you might have friends or family, somebody with an agenda of their own who are involved, right? You've got to be able to have your health in a place where you can take yourself out of the situation, right? And at least be able to find your way in this maze, quiet this maze down so that you can get through it and find, more. When you find more love, that's finding more love for yourself by taking yourself out of a situation so that you can think. This maze is a lot easier to maneuver, obviously, than this one. Now, absolutely, I say isolate yourself, take yourself out of a situation when you're in this type of mind frame. Um, and doing so will allow you to quiet things down, and the answers will start to come to you. But if you're still involved with this situation where you're still attached to friends and meddlers, or family or business partners that are just constantly up your business, lack of a better way to put it, in your face, never giving you a break, constantly draining your energy, your time, you're exhausted, you know, what the advice is that you've got to pull away so that you can hear, so that you can think, so that you can listen to what your guides and, just energy, how the energy changes is so incredible, to where you will feel lighter, you'll feel more peaceful, you'll get the answers that start to come to you. And I say trust no one until they can prove it. And I truly believe that, because that is, I mean, we're proving things every day, even within ourselves. Sometimes we don't even trust ourselves, but when we can prove it to ourselves that we can do things, that we can, change or be a different person or grow or handle something that we didn't think we could handle, we're essentially proving it to ourselves as well. So I say don't trust anybody until they can um, prove it with action. And Four of Swords. So, Four of Swords is this. This is the advice as well from just a different tarot. So this is resting, healing, meditating, and meditating is not just laying down with your eyes closed. Meditating can be reading. It can be going on a walk. It can be, doing tarot reads. That's how I meditate. Um, it could be anything. It's just basically taking time for yourself. All three of these cards are saying take self time, take yourself away from situation, be able to just sit quietly and start allowing the answers to come to you, and letting go of however it works out. Usually people do that when they're finally just like, there's been enough years, there's been enough time, there's been enough heartache behind them, that they finally just throw up their hands, and they just are like, I don't even care what the outcome is anymore. Um, just just show me where I don't have to feel this energy anymore. Show me what I need to do, or just I surrender to giving up this constant fight between people, between myself, not knowing the answer, constantly trying to control things. But you do have to release your ego a little bit and allow what's going to happen to happen. And the advice is here. That is hard, but if you could take the first step in removing yourself, isolating yourself from the situation that's at hand, it's at least going to allow you to calm down, um, the energy, allowing for more, um, you know, um, productive information and helpful information to come in and work with you. Um, and eventually, you'll find an answer. The energy will just shift so much that this pressure, I feel a lot of pressure in this read. Um, this pressure will lighten, and your decisions will be based on yourself, what's best for you, loving yourself, versus the pressure of family or ex partners or people who try and guilt you into doing something, being a certain way, staying somewhere, being trapped in what they want to trap you in, because that's what benefits them, and they can control who, what are around you, and where you are at, in your life. So anyways, I hope that helps. Seems like that might be the energy that's kind of playing out today. A lot of self-evaluation and kind of where people are at in their situations. Anyways, I hope that helps you, collective, and I hope that you have a great Monday. Today is the new moon in Cancer and the North Node, our destiny shift. So this could have a lot to do with that too, making these decisions to put you first. Okay, bye.